Hi students, now we are going to see 10th standard geography. In last class we saw about northern plains and Indian desert. Today's class we are going to see about the coastal plains. The peninsula plateau of the India is flanked by the narrow coastal plains of the varied width from north to south is known as western coastal plains and eastern coastal plains. We can see this is the coastal western Ghats which is coming narrow, and the eastern Ghats also coming narrow, it is not straight. So these, because of this only the coastal plains will happen. Okay. Then how it was formed? It was formed by the depositional action of river and erosional and depositional action of the sea waves. So from the river it has a depositional action. What is the depositional action? Means the river will bring some soils, so that is deposited in the area. So that is a depositional action, and sea waves will be erodical and depositional action. Erosion will be happen as well as deposition will be happen. How the erosion will be happen? The sea waves gone through will be hit by the land, so it is eroded, the rocks will be eroded, and the sand from the sea, the sand will be deposited in these places. That's why it is this coastal area will be formed. Okay, first we are going to see about the western coastal plains. It lies between the western Ghats and the Arabian Sea. It lies between the western Ghats and Arabian Sea. The middle will be called as western coastal plains. Extend from Rann of Kutch. It extends from Rann of Kutch to Kanyakumari. From the Rann of Kutch on the north to the south of Kanyakumari, it will be extended. Then it mainly characterized how the land surface will be there means mainly categorized by the sand beaches. Sandy beaches will be there in the western Ghats, as well as coastal sand dunes will be there. More sand dunes will be there, and mud flats will be there, as well as lagoons will be there. Lagoons means a pond, small lakes will be there. That will be there, and then residual hills will be there. These the western Ghats. You can see northern part of the western Ghats is called Konkan plains, and middle will be called Kanara, and the southmost part will be called Malabar coast. It widths vary from 20 to 100 kilometers. So it is not same as a parallel, and it's not as width will be not the same. And then 550 kilometer long stretch beach will be there in the western Ghats. Okay. Next we are going to see about. There are numerous shallow lagoons and backwater lake called Kayals and Terries. Famous backwater lake is called Vembanad. So in this western Ghats there will be a backwater lakes. What is meant by backwater lakes means when the river will go and mingle with the sea, that time the sea waves will hit, so the river will come back and form a pond like structure, that is called backwater lakes. Okay. So like that here in this Vembanad lake will be the famous one. Next we are going to see eastern coastal plains. It lies between the eastern Ghats and the Bay of Bengal. You can see from the eastern Ghats and the Bay of Bengal side, it will be lies between the eastern Ghats and the Bay of Bengal. It stretches from West Bengal from the West Bengal in the north to the Tamil Nadu will be covered by the eastern Ghats. And now these plains are formed by the alluvial filling of the littoral zone by east flowing rivers of the India. As we saw, more rivers will be flowing from the east side. Okay, more rivers will come and mingle in the Bay of Bengal Sea. So it is having more filling of alluvial soils. Okay, and Chilka is the largest backwater lake located in Mahanadi Delta region. See here itself Mahanadi Delta region will be there. Chilka lake will be located there. It is a famous and largest backwater lake. And the north part of the eastern Ghats will be called, eastern coastal plain will be called as North Circus, and the south part will be called as Coromandel coast. And there have more lakes like Chilka lake. It has Mahanadi and Krishna between the lake, between the place there have Kellur lake, and Krishna to Kaveri, between the Krishna and Kaveri you can see Pulicat lakes. Okay, so this is the western Ghats and western coastal plains and eastern coastal plains we can see here. Next we are going to see about the islands. Island group is consist of 572 islands located in the Bay of Bengal side. So in the Bay of Bengal side we can see it is first the former land formed by the islands. Okay, 572 islands are there in the side of Bay of Bengal, and later only the 27 islands were formed in the place of Arabian Sea. Okay, so Andaman and Nicobar are the largest tectonic and volcanic origins. Andaman and Nicobar consist of major tectonic activities, origins will be there, and Lakshadweep were coral origin. Most of the Lakshadweep islands will be covered with coral origin, and the India has only one active volcano which is located in the Barren Island. It is one of the island group in Andaman Nicobar. Next we are going to see about Andaman and Nicobar Island. It is located in a elevated portion of submarine mountains. So this part Andaman and Nicobar mountain, you can see in these Andaman and Nicobar islands most of the submarine mountains will be located, and then it is closer to the equator, so the climate of this region will be hot and wet throughout the year. So most probably the climate will be very hot and wet, more rain will be coming, so it is also wetlands will be there. And then the area of this island is about 8,249 square kilometers. All the islands area, if you put it together, you will get 8,249 square kilometers, and the entire group of this island is divided into two. The north part of this island is called Andaman, and the southmost part will be called Nicobars. And Port Billar is the administrative capital of the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Next, the 10-degree channel which separates how the north side and the south side will be segregated. The 10-degree channel will be separated the Andaman and Nicobar. And the southmost tip, the Indra Point, is a part of Nicobar Island. Nicobar Island only we have the Indra Point, the southmost point of the India. And then next we are going to see Lakshadweep Island. It is located off the west coast of India, covers an area of 32 square kilometers. So this is located in the west part of the India near the Arabian Sea. You can see 32 square kilometers, its area only about 32 square kilometers. Kavaratti is the administrative capital of the Lakshadweep, and it separates from Maldives. Maldives and Lakshadweep will be separated by the 8-degree channel. And the bird sanctuary, Pitt Island have a bird sanctuary which is located in the Lakshadweep Island, and earlier days the Lakshadweep will be called as Lakadiv, Minicoy, Amindivi. Later in the year 1973 only this has been named Lakshadweep. And one more island, we all know only about the Andaman and Nicobar and the Lakshadweep Island only we know, but there is some more island in India that is called offshore island. These islands are located in the place of Gulf of Mannar and the Ganga Delta regions, along with the Andaman and Nicobar, and then Lakshadweep and Maldives. These also are an island considered of the Gulf of Mannar. You can see more dotted points, that is called island, and then in the delta region of Ganga also have more islands, and many of these islands are uninhabited. So most of these islands the peoples are not living there, but it is administered by the adjacent states. Adjacent states means here the state which is near to the island are administrating these islands also. Okay students, that's all today's class. We finished the major physiographic divisions up to the offshore island. Hope you all understood. Thank you.